Hello, and thanks for stopping by. So I just started school again coming off of winter break, and I kind of wanted to talk about how I spent my winter break as a comp sci student. And I also wanted to talk about my declaration as a comp sci student because I feel like my story is pretty unique in a way and different from how people usually declare their major. So over winter break, I actually took on 3 personal projects. So the first project that I just finished was using an Arduino to control LED strip lights in my room. It was my first project using hardware, and I'm just really happy on how it turned out and really glad that nothing bad happened, more or less. This is just a project that I've wanted to do for a while. I've just never had any experience with any hardware or using an Arduino or anything. So it was a bit challenging, but it was really fun too, getting to experience something new and building it myself. I got to learn a little bit about circuitry, although it's very basic. It was just fun to try something new. I actually got a little bit of help from my Instagram followers. I put out a poll asking people what their favorite colors were, and then I use those colors in my programs, just rotate through all the different responses. So now those people's favorite colors are lighting up my room. The second project that I started, but I haven't completely finished yet, was more of a year-end project. So at the beginning of the year, I learned about ReactJS. And since learning about it, I've developed a couple of ReactJS websites, but those were all with groups, and I kind of wanted to try something by myself. Just to test what I had learned throughout the year. And this application is basically just a day-to-day planner that's built on ReactJS and Firebase. So the basic premise of this project is that when I use a calendar, sometimes I skip events on it, like working out or something, or I forget to eat a meal, and eating lunch will take a chunk out of what I had planned for the day. So using my app to focus on the day-to-day rather than week by week or month by month, it'll help you design a schedule for your entire day and think more deeply about what you're going to do tomorrow and how to increase your productivity for the day. And my last app is actually one that I'm probably the most excited about. So a group of friends and I, we competed in a startup competition with my idea, and we actually got second place. So for this semester, we're enrolling in our school's startup incubator program, and I worked on it a little bit during the break, but I didn't work on it too much because I knew I'd be working on it throughout the semester. I would talk about it a little bit more because it's actually a project that I'm pretty passionate about, but I don't think I'm allowed to say much about it, so I'll just leave it at that. But I'll definitely make a follow-up video once the project is finished. So now that we got winter break out of the way, I can talk a little bit about my declaration into comp sci. So my declaration of computer science as my major was a little bit odd. I had actually applied to schools undeclared, and for most of my first year of school, I was planning on majoring in economics. So in my last semester as a freshman, I was taking statistics for business, which was a requirement for economics at my school. And one of my friends who was a computer science major was taking that class as a math elective. So we ended up talking about our majors, and I told him I was undeclared and I was going to be an econ major, but I just wasn't too sure of my decision yet. And he was just like, so why don't you do comp sci? And then he said he could introduce me to his computer science teacher at the time. So I just went along with it, and I was like, okay, sure, why not? So a couple days later, I just show up to his class, and his professor's like, actually, I think the director of the computer science program is in the other room. We can just go over there and you can talk with him about it. And for this reason alone, I will be so grateful that I chose to go to a smaller school rather than a large school where the faculty hardly have any interactions with students. So I was able to sit down with the director right then and there, and he just kind of asked me about my grades, how I'm doing, why I was thinking about economics at the time, and gave me a little bit more information about the computer science program. Then after that little talk, I said that, yeah, I was pretty interested in computer science, and he wrote out what the next 3 years would look like if I declared computer science as my major. So needless to say, I just declared, and the past few years have been really great and really fun, and I'm really glad that I chose this path because I really feel like I did find my passion. Thanks so much for watching.